pleasant good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Sterling High School's second game of the season, also the second home game of the season for the Sterling Silver Knights as they take on the Camden Panthers. Rob Strauss, Kevin Schulz, Jake Clark set to bring you all of the action live right here on Channel 19. A beautiful night for football, 77 degrees. A little bit of a breeze out of the east, but the low humidity and looking for clear skies tonight. It was absolutely gorgeous, gorgeous day for football. We take a look at the Colonial Conference standings. You see Delran, last year's standings rather, Delran and Haddonfield and Willingboro all tied at 4-1 there in the Colonial. Sterling right around the middle of the pack at 2-3 and 5-5 overall last season. Switching things over to the other side of the Memorial, Cedar Creek, what a great season out of them. And Camden, 5-5, Schulze, 2-2 in their division, but it's a very different Camden team this year.
No doubt about it. Have some new players and played a national schedule early on in the first couple games, and they definitely are on another level now, ranked 5th in South Jersey.
The current standings of the 2022 campaign, Haddonfield and Camden on top won their openers. Everybody else lost their opener. You see Camden Catholic in there, West Effort, Collingswood, and Haddon Heights. And we take a look at the offense. Sterling got shut out in their opener last week at Seneca, or against Seneca rather. Camden putting some points up on the board, and they're also giving up some points. Last time Sterling played Camden, we'll get to this later on, back in 2005. Jake, we're going to cut to some highlights of that in a little bit. And right now, let's listen into the Sterling Band performing tonight's national anthem. Inside the press box right now, Rob Strauss, Kevin Schulz, and Jake Clark. Guys, we met Schulz. We were around for the 2005 game last time these two teams met. We'll get to those highlights shortly later on in the broadcast, but what a game that was back in 05.
Oh, no doubt about it. It came down to the last play, and Sterling just came up a little bit short, but that's when they had Art Ellis running the option, who probably ran the option as well as any quarterback I think I've ever seen.
Again, we'll get to those. Nice little highlight montage, bring you back 17 years ago. I can't believe that we're saying that. It was that long ago.
Like yesterday.
Art Ellis, a phenomenal athlete, one of the best all-around athletes that Sterling has seen.
An unbelievable point guard.
Yeah, oh my goodness. As good as he was on the football field, on the basketball court.
Yeah.
Just as good, if not better.
Yeah, they were saying, and we'll get more into it, that was the year they beat West Deptford, while West Deptford was on a really good run and just starting to really get good. Sterling hadn't beaten them in a few years. They beat him in that game, and obviously he was the key with the way he ran that option, and West Deptford just couldn't stop him. And of course, we'll talk a little bit more about the Camden game in the playoffs also.
Sophomore number 65, Aiden Harris, will kick off for Camden to start this game off. High end over end right in the middle of the field, takes a bounce. That is a live football taken by McCullough. McCullough not able to get up to the 20-yard line. That's where Sterling will start this game. 1st and 10 inside their own 20. Take a look at the Sterling offense. Under the center, James Hall, your halfback, Sam Agbesi. as well as Callie Hines. Good, called his name quite a bit last week. Jeremiah Berry and Kenny McCardle, your receivers, and then the offensive line as well as Yasir Arthur, and then your line of Paris, Gould, Cease, Gellion, and Yagmerkaya. Already a whistle on the field. I think that might be a clock issue, as I'm pretty sure that kickoff did not take 25 seconds. Might be adding more to the clock if I had to venture a guess.
Yeah, we took a look at that starting lineup, Mr. Schulz. James Hall taking the reps at quarterback. Julian Johnson, I believe, is battling with a bit of an injury. Not 100% sure on that.
Now, James Hall's a good athlete. We've seen him. I know they put him at wide receiver a couple years ago against Paulsboro when they were a little short-handed. And if there's ever a kid who can come in and, transition to a different position, it would be James Hall.
Agbesi in the backfield on 1st and 10. He will get the carry, and he's met at the line of scrimmage. Good tackle right at the point of contact by Tamir Bush, the senior.
And you can clearly see you're looking at a team that's got kids with a decent amount of varsity experience. The defensive line's getting their hands up on the chest of the offensive linemen and allowing the linebackers to come in and make the play. This is definitely a number 5 team in South Jersey for a reason.
Yeah, and it looked like on that play specifically, the offensive line was blocking towards the right, and the running back cut to the left, and there's just a defender right there covering the backside, not allowing a big gain.
No gain on the play, brings up 2nd down and 10. Ball placed at the 20. Handoff again. I believe they go to Hines on this one. Nowhere to go. That Camden defensive line all over. Now, excuse me, it was Agbesi again. Same play, same result. Loss on the play, actually. Loss of 3.
Characteristics of a real good defensive line, gaining penetration into the backfield. And there's not much you can do if you're back. You're getting the ball and getting hit at the same time. So far you can see early on here in the first couple plays is a dominating effort by Camden defensively.
Yeah, good job by the defensive line there, not allowing a hole for Agbesi to get through.
Hall moves under center on 3rd and long. Agbesi in the backfield. Check that. That is Hines in the backfield. And they'll be lucky to get back to the original line of scrimmage. They're going to bring up a punt situation for Sterling. 3 and out on their opening drive.
Yeah, not exactly sure what happened here. Looked like Agbesi and Hall had a bit of a mix-up on what the play was. Just a miscommunication.
Under 10 to play here. Sterling's opening drive goes empty, 3 and out. And a new kicker for Sterling. That is Nate Schwartz on the kicking duties. We saw last week the special teams were an issue. There's a good clean snap and a good punt. Bounces inside the 40 and is down right inside the 40 by Anthony McCullough. We take a look at the Sterling defense, your defensive ends. Gellion and McCardle, your nose guard, Yagmerkaya, your linebacking core of Hines, Gogolski, and Hall and Lopez. You got a rover back there. That's Sam Agbesi. We're going to be calling his name quite a bit. Your corners, Arthur and Vi, and then the aforementioned Ann McCullough playing free safety.
Yeah, I think this is a game where obviously Sterling's outmatched. You've got to look for small positive things that happen. And to me, to be able to get that kickoff, the punt off in your own end, is a positive considering the trouble they had last week. So this year is about improvement within each game and then going on to the next game and focusing on the positives.
Penalty on the field, and it's going to be against Camden. That'll back them up 5 yards. The quarterback for Camden is Deontay Ruffin. And Ruffin so far this season, 26 of 53 for 351 yards, 1 TD and 4 picks. So if you're going to take anything, that's something that Sterling's defense, eyes are going to be big there. Might have a chance at picking the ball off.
Yeah, it's just about anticipation. And the thing about when you look at Ruffin throw the ball, we saw him in practice, there's a nice hit right there. He's got a nice tight spiral. He'll get the ball there in a hurry. He's got a strong arm, throws it on a line, as we look at them go off to the left side right here.
That's Jalir Stanley, the junior. Stanley on the season, 20 carries, 102 yards, averaging 5.1 a game. Picked up a big chunk there and got the Panthers a first down. We'll draw here to Teron Davis. Davis out to the 25-yard line. Gain of 7.
And this Camden offensive line has done a nice job on these first 2 plays of just getting out and finding their man to block, allowing the ball carrier to find a lane and get some open space. This is a pretty good gain right here.
Camden quick to the line. Picks up a first down on that. Handoff goes back to Stanley. Stanley inside the 20.
You can see across this whole front right here, Camden's getting a good push. And there you have a guard pulling right there. Nice individual effort there to trip him up.
Camden on second down. Penalty marker thrown in the backfield, and its pass is complete inside the 5 down at the 1 to Teron Davis, but we'll take a look at the penalty. It's going to go against Camden.
Wow.
So that, again, small. You mentioned the small victory, Schulze. There's one for Sterling's defense.
Yep, no doubt about it. Just going with a 3-man rush, and I guess they got them. I believe, well, we'll see the call right here. Holding, yep.
Holding against the Panthers.
That was a nice progression there from Ruffin. He looked down the field, didn't find his first guy, thought about running it, rolls out of the pocket here, and finds his second read down the field. Unfortunately, it gets called back.
Deontay Ruffin is a tall glass of water, 6'3", 220 in the backfield in the shotgun, hands it off to Stanley. Stanley gets around the edge, makes a couple men miss. Inside the 10 goes Jalir Stanley, and it'll be first and goal for the Panthers.
This is a nice job by Stanley here. He bounces it outside after following his blocks. A nice job of just adding on after the hole closed up. He found another one.
Yeah, you see right here, he really doesn't get to the point where he takes some contact at the second level, but has good instincts and good awareness to know where the opening is, and after you have the initial hole, he bounces it out to the outside.
Handed off this time to Dahani Cobbs, and Cobbs is, did he get in? If not, he's close. Yes, he did get in. So Cobb runs it in for the Camden score, and Camden's up 6-0.
That was a good job there by Cobb, shoving up a few tackles and fighting his way into the end zone.
Yeah, and it's...
What yard line was he at?
But a team that has a lot of weapons, can go to either side, can go up the middle, the backs cut back. Just a really diversified all-around attack on the offensive side of the ball for Camden.
The extra point to snap the hold. The kick is blocked, and the kick is no good. So again, small victory for Sterling. They give up that opening drive score. We'll take one more look at it as Adrian Harris has his, that was a low, I don't think he didn't get underneath that for sure.
Yeah, I don't know that one was blocked, but again, you'll take it as Sterling only allowed 6, not 7, and it's still manageable here early in this first quarter. Just got to find something positive offensively. Taking a little look at that run right there. Just look at the amount of space that Cobb had to work with. Just a massive hole for him to find the end zone.
No doubt about it. On that every handoff initially, the push that you're seeing from the offensive line, just it really creates the advantage for a back to be able to look and find the opening after they get into that second level.
Yeah, just a ton of space, and then Cobb just does the rest.
Harris on to kickoff, just missed the extra point. Low high but short kick. That's a live ball and absolutely getting leveled at the 30-yard line. Camden says the ball came out, but I tell you what, that's a gutsy return there from Sterling's number 26. That's Terrell Lewis.
Yeah,
man, that was dangerous.
And a lot of kids don't really. You're not thinking about it, but that's something like that that's high and short. The best bet is to step up, fair catch it, and then just get under it. Which you don't think of doing it on a kickoff. Some usually do on a punt, but you can do it on a kickoff. Just one of those things that, you know, with a team with kids with some inexperience, you're just not thinking of doing.
Yeah, and Camden coming with a full head of speed right there. That could have been dangerous for the Sterling return man.
1st and 10 for Sterling from their own 30. High snap, corralled, eaten up in the backfield is that's Hines, and he goes backwards for a loss of 4, maybe 5.
Well, I mean, Hines really had no shot from the start here, as there's 3 Camden defenders that just come in pretty clean. Not much you can do there as the running back.
Yeah, they're putting everybody up there on the line on that play. They shoot the gaps, and I think what happens is the offensive linemen get flat-footed. You don't want to shoot ahead and miss your man. You stay back, and you're playing tentative right now, which, again, kids who aren't experienced, who are gaining experience, they usually play that way. And, again, that's something you want to get better at.
2nd down and long. They put a man in motion, McCullough, and they go with the draw. Maybe gain of a yard at best for the Silver Knights. Under 6:40 left to go and a 6-0 Camden lead.
Just another good job by the Camden defensive line. Once again, 3 defenders just right there. I believe that was the previous play.
Yeah, and they're just shooting through the gaps. You know, traditionally, you're going to play your base D. You're going to get your hands on the offensive lineman and kind of read what's going on, but they're just shooting in and obviously getting into the backfield right when you have the exchange.
From the shotgun on 3rd and long. Sterling. This is a design run all the way. Could have been a horse collar tackle there, but might have gotten. And did the flag come in late? No, it did not. I thought I saw some laundry on the field. It was not.
Yeah, you're going to see on the left side here, and the defensive lineman shoot through the gap. He's going to come in right there and force things to the outside. And, of course, with Camden, there's always somebody to recover wherever Sterling's going early on in this game.
Teron Davis stands at his own 42-yard line to receive the punt. Good snap and a very, very short punt, but takes a Sterling bounce near the 40-yard line. So let's take one more look at this. We may have...
Look right here at the kick and... Oh, yeah.
Did he get the pad and on the back?
That was close, but I don't know that he hit it.
Yeah, blocker was a little too close right there.
Let's look at it again.
Not enough space to get a great punt away.
Down at the 40-yard line.
No.
He just missed it, but it just hit the bad part of his foot. Went straight up.
In the first quarter.
I thought he hit that little back flap of the pads there, but again, gives Camden excellent field position starting this drive at the Sterling 40, leading 6-0. From the shotgun is Ruffin. He hands it off to Blackney. Blackney out to the 35, gain of 5.
A little bit of a read option. I think the problem here was it just took a little too long to develop, but good job by Sterling getting in there and forcing a cutback where they had, I believe that's Nico Gelly in there, forcing the cutback.
Yeah, it was a nice job by Sterling just getting the first tackle down, holding Camden to a minimal gain. We talk about those small victories.
Pass from Ruffin is incomplete. Brings up a big 3rd down here for this Sterling defense.
Well, Camden's thrown 53 times in 2 games, so they're going to throw a decent amount. Sterling anticipated this, and good coverage right here on that slant.
Yeah, and last week against Seneca, we saw times where wide receivers were wide open down the field, and the quarterback just missed. A nice job by Sterling tightening up on this first throw here from Camden.
Third down and 7. Ruffin from the shotgun. Plenty of time now being pressured. And it is pass, caught, complete, touchdown. Malik Red from 37 yards out. And it is 12-0 Camden.
Pass is completed.
Plenty of time in the pocket here with a talented quarterback, able to check all of his reads, finds a man down the field, and the receiver does the rest.
Yeah, Red had about 4 or 5 steps on the defender, and it was just a matter of putting the ball there. But Sterling got in there a little bit, but good job by Ruffin just setting the foot, throwing the ball, and he knew he was going to get hit.
I believe for Sterling, that was Ensar Yagmerkaya on the pressure. They're going to go for 2 here. Pass is incomplete, so 2-point conversion no good. 12-0 Camden with 4:38 left to go in the first.
12-0 over the Knights.
Take another look at that touchdown throw. Just a ton of time in the pocket, and that allowed his receiver to break free from the defender. And good throw, a good strong throw from Ruffin there.
One more look at it here. Look at the time.
You see right here, he's going to get some pressure there towards the end, but still was able to set that back foot. Yeah, and the whole time waiting for the play to develop, waiting for the receiver to get to the point where he needed to get to throw the ball. You see this pressure right here coming from this side, right there.
Camden 12-0 lead here, 4:38 left to go in the first. Glad you joined us here on a gorgeous Friday night. First full week of September. Beautiful kickoff. Taken at about the 10-yard line from Sterling. And a nice half-decent return there. That's James Hall on the return. Check that. That is McCullough on the return. And Sterling will trot out on the field on offense.
Kickoff is returned to the 25-yard line.
And they'll start first and 10 from their own 25.
Yeah, and you know, guys, I think we got to try something new here. The run game has not really worked out well. Hoping that your offensive line can maybe give your quarterback some time to get a quick throw off.
First and 10 from the 25. Sterling lines up. Backs in the I formation. One wide receiver to the far right. Hall hands it off, nowhere to go. Helmet pops off.
That was a play where you saw on this right side here, you'll see the defensive line push the offensive lineman back into the play. And again, you have that going on in addition to guys shooting the gaps. And Sterling obviously isn't in position where they can open things up with a passing game and keep this defense of Camden honest. They just know the run's coming and they're just going at them.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel
100%.
like you just got to mix it up a little bit here. They're anticipating the run. Why not just get a quick throw off?
Second down and 13. Another run player going to try the right side this time, able to get around the corner for a positive gain, not back to the original line of scrimmage, gain of about 2.
And this is a nice surge from the Sterling offensive line. Gives the back a bit of a chance here. Good tackle, though, by Israel
And if you look at
White.
that play on the right side, you look like you had a double team at the point of attack. And that's one of the few times you didn't see Camden defensively up front gain penetration.
That brings up third down and 12 as we approach the 3-minute mark of this first quarter. 12-0 Camden. One back in the backfield for Sterling. And Callie Hines in the backfield. Pitch goes to Hines. Hines trying to turn and get the edge. gets back to the original line of scrimmage. Maybe a gain of 3 or 4, but that's going to bring up the punt team. And it'll be 4th and long.
Yeah, even if initially you see Hines right here get to the outside, you've got so much speed coming over here from the linebackers, getting to the point of attack. And, you know, it makes it easy if you're a linebacker. When the defensive line's so good, you have open lanes to flow back and forth. You're not even getting hit. You're just running to the ball carrier.
Yeah, and I like the play call, trying to change it up. We saw a few pitches last week, just not enough room to turn upfield on the outside corner.
Yeah. And the penetration in the backfield almost makes it impossible to put yourself in position to go back and have the quarterback step back and throw.
Brings up 4th down and 10. The punt team on the field for Sterling. It's a low line drive taken on the fly by Camden. Up the near sideline. Here comes Azir Lee. And Azir Lee inside the 15.
By Azir Lee.
Azir Lee, a former Sterling guy.
Inside the 20, excuse me. I thought he was going all the way here for a moment. A good thing.
And that's one of those run backs. It was a line drive kick, but you know, somebody who's adept and used to running ball back, when the ball's in the air, they're looking how things develop. And I think that's what Lee did. He looked and saw the opening to the right side, got it, was actually had to step up towards the end zone and caught it with momentum. And that's one of the big reasons why he was able to get such a good run back on that one.
Yeah, you took the word right out of my mouth. Momentum, got his feeding behind him. Nice return.
Ruffin from the shotgun has all day. He's going to keep it himself now, make a man miss. Inside the 20, down to the 15. He had all day in the pocket, decided to tuck it and run to his right for a positive gain.
And you could have real good coverage initially, but after 5 or 6 seconds, it makes it almost impossible, especially with some speedy receivers who can cut and ad lib back there for defensive backs to maintain coverage.
And Sariyag Merkaya on the tackle. Ruffin from the shotgun looking left. He's throwing that direction. The pass is incomplete. Broken up, no flag on the play. And broken up there nicely by Agbesi.
In my opinion, this is not the smartest throw here from Ruffin. They got double coverage over there, and he puts a good throw on it, just receiver can't come down with it.
Yeah, it was there, receiver went up, had it in his hands, just came out.
Yeah, taking a second look at this is a really good throw from Ruffin. Puts it where only his guy can get it, and a nice job by Agbesi, maybe knocking that one away.
3rd and 5, quick throw, quick catch. Jalen Hornsby into the end zone, touchdown. 15-yard touchdown strike. Ruffin's second passing touchdown of the game. This time finds Hornsby, and it's 18-0 Camden.
And that's a good way to counter within your passing game where you went long, defensive backs are back on their heels, and then you go to the outside, allow your receivers to get ahead, be the lead blockers, and good play call and obviously even better execution by Camden.
Yeah, it's a good play call to get one of your playmakers out in space, and good execution there. Puts Camden up 18.
Kick is no good. I don't think that got about an inch and a half off the ground. Nonetheless, Camden's got the lead here, 18-0 with 1:12 left to go in the opening quarter.
And I think as we look at first-year coach Ray Trailey there, one disadvantage that Sterling has coming into the season, obviously losing a lot of varsity starters last year, in that you have a lot of players that back those guys up who didn't get much varsity playing time, and you have such a significant number of players on both sides of the ball getting their first glimpse of varsity experience all at the same time. And that makes it difficult. And that's a big reason why we're seeing what we're seeing. And maybe as the year goes on, we won't see this as much.
And again, a tough opening schedule as well for Sterling. And a tough schedule as a whole. All 8 games are challenging, to say the very least. Seneca last week, real tough opponent. They looked really, really good in their opening quarter. You got Camden coming in here, obviously, right now. And then we've 2 away games, Collingswood and Haddon Heights coming up. Never know. Rivalry games down the road.
But I think the good thing about a tough schedule is it'll make these guys better players, especially this is their first varsity experience.
High end over end kickoff. Taken and trying to get out to the 25 is Callie Hines. He's just shy of that. And we take a look at the schedule coming up for Sterling. Next 2 games are away. At Haddon Heights, that'll be a Saturday game at 11 o'clock start. And that's September 23rd. Taking on the old Thanksgiving Day rival, Collingswood Panthers. That's one of those Cowboys-Eagles games where you can throw the records out the window.
Yeah.
And I think the season series is even over all these years that these 2 teams have met. It's pretty even, if I remember correctly.
No doubt about it. You know, there are years where they're good, we're bad, we're good, they're bad. And then you have some even up years.
And we see some really, really good overtime game of Thanksgiving several years back. Quarterback keeper won that. Handoff goes for a loss there. Flag comes in late, little skirmish on the far side of the field, and cooler heads prevail. Little mini trivia question. Who scored the overtime?
Matt Mignano.
There you go. Look at the kick at anything. Oh, good. From what I understand,
I should wait for you to
I was
finish the question.
If you had the buzzer, the Jeopardy buzzer, you were on point with that. That was a great.
I'm 1 for 1 in trivia. I'm stopping. I'm just going to stay at 1,000 for the rest of the year.
Drop the headset. You're out of here.
Yeah, I'm gone.
Get out of here.
My leg hurts. I have an injury.
That was a great game. What an incredible game that was.
Yep.
Thanksgiving, you couldn't ask for a better way to start your Thanksgiving than that game. And that's one that Matt Mignano will never, ever forget.
Yeah, it was one of the last games we did in the old stadium, the old stands of Collingswood, which were awesome. I was talking to somebody today that just not the same going there. And I understand there were structural issues and everything. There was reasons why they had to do what they had to do. But one of the great old stadiums in the Colonial Conference.
Haddonfield Stadium, obviously still up. They did some work on it several years back, but it's still kind of a unique place to play.
Yeah.
Woodbury, another great press box that we've been to. What a great place that is to go play a game.
They redid theirs and did a tremendous job.
Whistle, flag, and that'll be against Sterling, and that will back them up even more.
Guys, I like what they're doing right now because you've got a Camden team that's chomping at the bit. You know, they're just shooting the gaps. Go with a longer count. Just kind of stabilize things a little bit. Unfortunately, it hurt Sterling to have somebody jump offside there, but you know, you just got to be disciplined on the offensive side of the ball when you're trying to do this.
Yeah, backfired right there, but I do like the idea.
Under 10 seconds left to play in this opening quarter. Sterling probably just going to let the clock run out here, and they do. That's the end of the first quarter. Camden an 18-0 lead thanks to 2 passing touchdowns from Deontay Ruffin and a rushing touchdown by Dehani Cobbs. And it's an 18-0 lead. We'll get off to a quick break. Come back. Second quarter action right after this.
Wake up. Today's gonna be a good day. Wake up. Today's gonna be
Redmond's Revenge.
Susie Banks? Saul McLear?
What are you guys even talking about? Those are both myths.
Get out of here.
set your affirmations, aspirations. I to do the aftermath of preparation. Good food, good mood, blood in circulation. One step at a time, yeah, that's how you make it. Set a goal you control and the steps you take. I try to pick one thought, have some concentration. And if I make a mistake,
Young man, they try to tell you.
We try to tell you.
Welcome back to Sterling High School. Sterling trailing Camden 18-0 after one. You take a great look at the Sterling skyline. Of course, the flags at half-staff across the country, across the world, with the passing of Queen Elizabeth II at the age of, I believe, 97 years old.
I think it was 96.
96.
Still impressive.
What a legacy. Just talk about the rich history that is in the English history and the tradition that they have there and the royalty and the pomp and circumstance surrounding that. So the entire world and country celebrating that.
And it's amazing. Somebody said she's been there for every president since 1952. So
Yeah.
it went from Eisenhower right on through to Biden, which is amazing.
And
Like 12 presidents.
Yeah,
she's met with.
She was like the royal crown, like the figurehead for like over 70 years, I heard, which was like the longest of all time. Just a really impressive run.
if I remember hearing this correctly, the flags will remain at half-staff until the end of the funeral procession. So
No.
18-0 Camden. Sterling a third and long. They have to get to the 37-yard line for a first down. This is third and forever.
Yeah, still haven't gotten a first down yet.
Hall under center, and they do the wise thing, and they just hand it off up the middle. A safe thing there, pinned deep in your own territory. And at the 10-yard line, fourth and long, and the punt team back out on the field.
Yeah, this is the right play call by Coach Straley. Just running up the middle, safe run. Give your punter a little extra room.
Well, if we remember correctly, this is where Sterling had some problems on this end of the field. Last week, they went to punt it, and it turned into a scoop and score. Another high snap and another similar situation, and it's going to be, that should be a safety? It is.
Yeah, safety.
And you spoke it into existence this time.
Yeah, sorry about that. Something about that end of the field and special teams.
Take another look at this run right here by Callie Hines. Just nothing doing all day for the Sterling ground game.
Panthers 20, 9-0 with 10:31 remaining in the second quarter.
Yeah, and that's a defense led by James Hurd and Richard James, two guys who are West Virginia commits. So when you've got a linebacker that's a high-end D1 guy, as well as a defensive lineman that's a high-level D1 guy, going against an offensive line that has kids just in their second game on the varsity level.
All right, we just did some trivia. I created my own trivia on the last one. This is Mr. K-driven trivia because we have a nice fancy graphic for this. Who was the influence for Dracula in Bram Stoker's novel?
I have no idea.
I will.
I'm right there with you, Mr. Schulz. I
will
clue.
see your no idea, and I will raise you. I have no clue.
Yep, we're on here.
Going to hit us with a Bram Stoker novel, Mr. K. I don't know where he's digging this one up from, but this is that's a good one. The influence for Bram Stoker's novel Dracula. Well, you got Full Moon. Is it Halloween? Halloween isn't for another 6 weeks, and he's busting out Dracula. That's an awesome shot right there by our tech crew. I'm going to give a shout out to my son Connor Strauss on that shot. That's good work out of him. I might actually drive him home tonight for that.
Did a real nice job announcing on the soccer game, so he's versatile. Good camera shots, good announcing.
Hey, he's two for two right now.
Wavy's talented.
And return here from Taquan Brittingham. Guys, Jake, what do you got on the Bram Stoker novel? Anything? Give me something.
I'm thinking it might have something to do with the Queen's passing. Maybe like another member of the royal family.
That's a good one. That's a good pull.
Maybe Charles. I don't know. Maybe Prince Charles.
King Prince Philip? I don't know. I have
no idea.
That's Walt Whitman.
Walt Whitman. And where was Walt Whitman? Where did he live?
New
Where
Jersey.
did Walt Whitman live?
New Jersey.
Camden.
There you
That's
go.
your Camden reference.
Right in our own backyard. I would have thought that one.
We've got to focus on Camden here. With all our answers, that's going to lead us there. We're going to have hopefully have Camden references for our sake.
Israel Clark White on the carry for the Panthers. Down to just about the 20-yard line, almost red zone time for the Panthers.
Brings up second down.
Stanley in the backfield for the Panthers. On second down and 1. Looking to pass is Ruffin. Ruffin goes into the end zone over the head of the intended receiver, Jalen Hornsby. He had a little bit of a step there, Schulze.
Yeah, had to get it there a little bit sooner. And again, Ruffin, I believe, is only a sophomore. And that's one of those things where you learn as you get more reps, you get more time at the varsity level, that certain times you've got to throw the ball a split second sooner.
Yeah, I mean, he had a little bit too much on that pass right there, but a bit of a blown coverage by the Sterling secondary.
Handed off to Stanley. Stanley picks up the first down inside the 20. Approaches the 15. It'll be a first and 10 from about the 17.
Camden
going quick here.
and continuing with this no huddle.
Ruffin again from the shotgun. Plenty of time. He's going far sideline end zone. Almost a one-handed grab in the back of the end zone by Hamid Anderson, the senior wide receiver.
Pretty solid coverage on the outside here. I mean, you take a look at it.
From that end, he almost tripped a little bit right there, but at the same time, the ball was out of the end zone. Again, another one where you might want to throw it. Obviously not as far, but a little bit sooner.
Yeah, you see Arthur had pretty good coverage, and then he lost his footing.
Teron Davis on the carry for the Panthers inside the 5.
There you
First
see
and
on
goal.
the left side, you're seeing these huge holes right here. They're having all kinds of room. Good penetration off to that far side, but a good job by Hines evading that. And getting away from the initial defender. Again, a real good job up front. He's creating that seam, and you don't need a whole lot of room for a kid with his speed.
First and goal from the 5 for the Panthers, already leading this one 20-0 after the safety. They hand it off to Stanley. Stanley stood up, approaching the goal line. Did he get in? We'll see if he did. Are they going to mark him short? Looks like they are.
And guys, we've seen him have holes, but here you're going to see just a real good push up front if we can get over there and just see them push back the defensive line right on back there towards the end zone. And yeah, that's a characteristic of a real dominating offensive front that Camden has.
The injured Knight on the ground, Denzel Wiggins, holding his right arm. And the coaching staff, as well as the very busy trainer, Sean Clank. We talk a lot about the job that he does with all the sports. He's here all the time. He's here before practices, well after the practices. We got to give a shout out to Sean Clank. He's been here so long. He's seen everything. He's done everything. One of the greats here at Sterling.
Yep. All over the place out there when you're out there in the practice fields, especially in the preseason.
All right, so we're going to go to trivia question number 2. What job did Walt Whitman have during the Civil War? We all know his main job. But what job did Walt Whitman have during the Civil War?
I'm going to say he was a correspondent, wrote about the war, wrote about what happened in different
I like
battles.
that. I like that.
Being a poet, that's a guess. I have no idea if it's right. Total guess.
I'm going to say he was a cook. Like he was That's what I'm going with.
Just a shot in the dark.
I mean,
Yeah,
it's
I'm thinking more transporting mail during the Civil War. Maybe like, getting letters from people's families
Like a
to
postman.
them. Yeah.
all right. At least we
Checking
have
letters
guesses.
for grammar since he was a poet. And
A proofreader. Running for his life and connecting in the end zone for 2. Apparently there was a 5-yard touchdown run on that last one. It was a late call by the official.
2-point conversion is good. And with 8:33 remaining, the Panthers 28-0.
See if we can get the touchdown because that's a great shot right there. Full moon tonight. 28-0 Camden as they score on the 2-point conversion.
Beautiful shot from Wavy. Let me tell you.
a lot of people say, geez, what are they? They're up by 20, at that point 26. What are they going for 2? But obviously you can see it was a blown snap, and they're all taught to just, you give the fire call, everybody goes out, and he's taught to roll out and do what they did. So not a situation where they were necessarily going for 2.
Apparently Walt Whitman worked as a nurse. We'll see if we can take one more look at the touchdown. You can see Jaleel Stanley, the junior running back in the backfield there. Hit initially, but I guess the push, his knee never went down. I thought his knee went down and they blew it dead. Apparently they did not. And that's the old offensive line gets behind him and pushes him across the end zone.
And that goes back to just the dominating push you're getting from the offensive line.
Yeah, not only a dominant push from the offensive line, but a good job by Stanley keeping the legs churning and fighting for the extra yards and the touchdown.
Kickoff taken to about the 25-yard line by Anthony McCullough. First and 10 for Sterling, trailing this one 28-0 with 8:28 left to go in the half. And we mentioned this in the open. Ranked 5th in South Jersey are these Camden Panthers, and they're showing every bit of their number 5 ranking.
Oh, no doubt. And back to the Sterling end, each individual player, coaches are going to get on you, but I think it's your job to be mindful of what you have to do and be mindful of what you have to improve on. And just, we said it earlier, but get better with each play. Try different things, work on your technique. And it's a tough situation, but I think, that's how mentally you're going to get through this and hopefully improve.
So 28-0. Glad to join us here on Sterling TV 19. Rob Strauss, Kevin Schulz, Jake Clark. Guys, a real electric atmosphere on campus this week, even though it's the first week back to school. Jake, you saw it firsthand. Very unique first week, all half days, but we're kind of easing you back into the school year and what should be the first full year in 3-4 years.
Yeah, it was definitely good to get back, in the building. Me being a junior, I didn't really have a normal year of high school yet, so this year is definitely going to be exciting, especially for the juniors.
And Kevin, we've seen the evolution of this student body in terms of the spirit, and it's here tonight. Here we are, we're trailing this one 28-0. And everybody, we got the neon thing. Everybody's still here. There was a tailgate earlier. Shout out to Miss Johnson. Miss Bukowski did a great job with the tailgate. And the pep rally today, the barbecue, everything, phenomenal.
And, like I said, we've been at the school for the last 18 years, and we've gradually seen it happen. But you don't realize how unique it is. So you talk to other people who've worked in other schools, who've come from other schools, and they said the school spirit here is just so unique as compared to other schools throughout South Jersey.
And you know what? It's built a lot since the inception when we first got here. We've seen it build and build and build, and that's a credit to the staff and the administration who just did a phenomenal job focusing on student involvement and getting the kids out here and being a part of the culture that is Sterling High School.
And I'm just so impressed with how many kids are involved with the different theme days that we have. It's almost like you feel like the whole student body in one way or another is involved in that.
We will have a promo as we look at the face mask penalty against Camden here. That will give Sterling what is probably going to be their first down of the game. We'll see another look at it here, but we're going to actually, you see the face mask, and we'll get to the promo in a minute right there. As Jalen Hornsby got all of that one, then the ball came out as James Hall falls to the ground. But we're actually going to have a highlight package coming up at halftime of that 2005 Sterling-Camden game that ended just a phenomenal game, came down to the last play. Art Ellis and Jake, you might be seeing this for the first time. What a heck of a game.
Yeah, I was maybe less than 2 months old when that game happened. So
you weren't taking stats on that game at that point?
It'll definitely be my first time looking at it.
All right. I'm surprised you weren't at home doing some play-by-play. So after the penalty, they're going to walk this penalty off here after the face mask penalty. And Sterling will take any first down any way they can get it.
Yeah, we saw at the end of the play, though, after the face mask, Azir Lee hit Bub Hall on that knee. I believe he's been struggling a little bit with the knee injury, and he was a little slow to get up.
Look at James Hall there, getting some attention.
He's working out with Sean Clank.
James Hall, our quarterback, and our former ball boy from way back. What do you need?
Ball's currently placed at the 38-yard line. And Camden now has the ball, so maybe Ray Traley has his hands up in the air trying to figure out. I don't understand how Camden got the ball back, but nonetheless, they're going to line up with 4 wide receivers on first down. Ruffin back to pass, looks deep, and it is picked off. Coming away with the ball is Aiden Washington. The 5th interception of the season by Ruffin. Sterling creates the turnover.
This is a nice job right here by number 11. I believe that's Yasir Arthur. He does a nice job just sticking with this man. Times it up perfectly. And the hands at the end for the interception. Well done all around by Arthur.
Yeah, in good position. And the thing I liked about that, guys, you've seen these strong defensive backs stay with the wide receiver on certain plays, but they weren't able to pick up the ball. But he did a real good job right there, picking up the ball and ultimately coming up with the pick.
.13 remaining. Gives these fans all dressed in neon. The student body doing a great, even Jake dressed in neon. I didn't get the memo. Schultz, did you get the memo about the neon? I didn't. Nah. I was not included in that group text, apparently.
I'll fill you guys in for the next one.
Yeah, thanks for the heads up. We got 2 home games left. Thanks. Hines in the backfield. Hall under center. Bessie met at the line of scrimmage, driven backwards. Initially hit there, I believe that's Craig Walton, was the first to get the hit on.
Yeah, it just seems like another miscommunication on where the run's going to go. Hall looks like he's handing off to one side, Bessie's on the other, and that little split second of miscommunication runs that play into the backfield.
Well, that's a case of just making a read and stepping up and delivering a big-time hit on the ball carrier right there.
Second down and 10, no gain on the play. 7:20 remaining in the half. Sterling trailing 28-0. With the 5th-ranked team in South Jersey and the Camden Panthers. Hall under center, backs in the I formation. Camden gets pressure, brings it, and maybe we'll get a little bit of breathing room as they're in the shadow of their own goal line here. Just trying to give their punter probably a little bit more room, as we saw the safety last time backed up in this situation.
Yeah, and playing on a defensive line for Camden with no threat of passing the ball, you've got a six-man front, and you've got linebackers that are right on the heels of the linemen, almost making it like an eight-man front.
Yeah, and the offensive line did a nice job. They got beat initially. Good job by the running back staying up, and the offensive line giving them that extra push towards the end.
Gain of 1 on the play, 3rd down and 9.
You got a defensive, and now you almost have the 10 men in the box right there, so.
Penalty marker comes in. That's going to be against Sterling. That's going to back them up about 1.5 feet. They have to get to about the 13 for a first down. Be 3rd down and call it 11. Under 6 to play in the half. Again, Hall under center. 1 back in the backfield. And that's going to be another safety. Here's something you don't see every day. Hall sacked in the backfield, and that's the 2nd safety of the game for this Camden defense.
You had 10 men in the box, and you have a couple of them stunning. So in that situation, the strong offensive line is just overwhelmed.
So that makes it 30 to nothing.
Not exactly sure what the initial play call was there. Looked like it was going to be a fake to a back or a receiver on a jet sweep, and then Hall was going to keep it himself, but Camden read that like a book, and with the 10 men in the box, it made it very difficult.
And not only are you giving the team 2 points, you're also giving them the ball back as well.
Yeah.
Take a look at our students section there. Do not avert your eyes. Those are all neon colors. What a great job. I'm not sure who, it's so early in the school year, we don't know who is spearheading the campaign on who's the super fan leader in terms of picking the theme for the week. But I'll tell you what, over the last several years, they've done such a great job.
And it's great. A lot of those super fans play other sports, and it's awesome to see different sports supporting each other.
I know my tennis girls, after a tough loss today to West Deptford, to switch from their jerseys to their neon, and they are right in front of us right now. The return is Malik Red. Malik Red inside Sterling territory. Now to about the Sterling 40. 1st and 10 for the Panthers.
Cross midfield to the 40-yard line. Panthers have begun this drive in night.
Yeah, we've seen Red targeted a few times by Ruffins as a wide receiver. Nice job on the return there. Kick was skied high by Jaleen, and he did a nice job of not letting the lights affect that one and getting some good yards after the match.
1st and 10 for the Panthers from their own, the Sterling 40-yard line. Right in front of our broadcast booth, moving from right to left. 5:36 remaining in the half. Camden leading this one 30 to nothing. Sterling still looking for their first points of the season. Ruffin back to pass. Being flushed out of the pocket, going to run it right up the middle. Tripped up as he crosses the 35 down to the 34.
This is a really nice job by Bub Hall, tripping up Ruffins for a pretty minimal gain. A nice pass rush there, and he decides to keep it because they're running man. So he's got a lot of open room, but a nice tackle there. Just gets him by the ankles, is Bub Hall.
Limits Ruffin to a gain of 5, maybe 6. 2nd down and 4.
Yeah, but just look at the amount of space he would have had if that tackle was missed. That could have been bad.
A speedy down the sideline, approaching the end zone, touchdown. Jalir Stanley from 35 yards out.
35 yards gain.
That's his 2nd of the game. And Camden extends the lead to 36-0.
And this is just an advanced play call right here. They're running the screen. Don't see many high school teams do that, but Camden has the skill set to, and he just shoves off Ant McCullough and trots into the end zone for a touchdown.
That's just great strength in the legs. And McCullough got low, but they went shoulder to shoulder. McCullough just kept the legs moving and obviously won that one-on-one battle to go in for the touchdown.
Looks like they're going to go for two here. Deontay Ruffin from the shotgun. Stanley to his left. They give it to Stanley. He skates into the end zone for the touchdown, or two-point conversion rather. And that makes it 38-0 Camden. 4:47 left to go in the half.
4:47 remaining until
Yeah, not sure if they needed to go for two right there at that point. And I'm not sure if there's an issue with the kicker or what, but
Yeah, well, the kicker has seemed to struggle. I don't know that he's made an extra point yet.
yeah. I don't know if they had somebody else who could do it or what,
But yeah, up this much, definitely. If you got a kicker, going for two might not be the best option.
I think if you're up 36-0, even if you don't think you're going to get the kick, just do it just for the. No point to go for two.
Beautiful shot here. Friday Night Lights here from Sterling's second consecutive home game. They have 2 home games remaining. One will be 3 weeks from now, rather, and then the week after that. So, and then that'll be it for home games for Sterling. As a front-loaded home schedule. You have week 0, I guess we'll call it, last week against Seneca. And now, since there's a 35-point deficit, you should see the running clock as the ball is dropped and now picked up again by Sterling. And going absolutely nowhere is Zach Bessie on the return. That bobble and subsequent second and third bobble gave the Camden special teams an opportunity to just hone in on Agbessi right there at the 15, 16-yard line.
Hey, but give Agbessi credit. You know, he bobbles the ball a few times, but he picks himself up and is able to not go backwards and doesn't fumble the ball there.
Yeah. And you go back ahead, playing this caliber play, it ultimately is going to force you to try, if you're Sterling, to play faster. And again, it goes back to making you better.
First and 10 for Sterling. Movement everywhere in the backfield. Little pitch play, and that goes nowhere. Flag comes in on the left-hand part of your screen there, and they had 3 or 4 backs moving in the backfield. That's an illegal shift penalty. That's an easy call for the official. Camden declines the penalty because there's a loss of 5 anyway, if not more. Everybody was confused on that one. That was about a loss of about 9. Second down and long.
And I do like the way the coach Traley calls plays, but I just feel like they are very advanced, and especially for a young team, it's definitely tough to pick up on, and that's why I think we're seeing a lot of mistakes out there.
Yeah, and the more experience you get at the varsity level, you ultimately, and this probably goes across the board to any sport, initially right now in your first games, you're thinking too much, whereas as you get experience, you're just reacting. You're used to the speed. You've caught up to the speed. The game slows down. And, obviously they're not at that point yet, but that's what you're ultimately working towards.
Hall from the shotgun, one back in the backfield. In Kelly Hines, he'll get the carry, and he is met immediately at the line by a host of Camden Panthers, and that's some tough sledding right there. Callie Hines is still down. He ran into an absolute wall of Panthers here, and with some force too.
We'll take a look at it right here. The offensive line gives Callie Hines a pretty good hole right there, and it is just shot by the front 7 by Camden, and he was met by a wall of defenders. I counted 5. I counted 5 guys right there.
And it's easy when you're playing in that secondary level at the linebacker position and you're not hit because you have an offensive line that's holding everybody up, and you can just play free and loose. You don't even have to take on any blocks.
Hall trots the play in from the sideline on third down and long. They line up 2 wide receivers to the near side, 1 far side. 3 minutes remaining in the half. Sterling trailing 38-0 to Camden. And a penalty. Offside penalty against Camden, so that'll make it a little bit more manageable. But Sterling offensively in consecutive weeks having a real tough time trying to gain some positive yardage, we saw this last week, Jake, where Sterling would generate some positive offense and then the penalties just marched them that far backwards.
Yeah, and it was just silly little mistakes, but I think that's what comes with being a young team under a new coach. You got to learn the system and learn how to band together and play as a unit.
Little misdirection play. Gain of a couple by Agbesi. He crosses the 20 down to the 21 and bring up a 4th and long. Under 2.5 to play in the half.
And just not enough speed to get upfield on the outside. A good tackle there by Craig Walton, the senior for Camden.
And they could even miss, get faked out, cut the wrong way. But the recovery time and catching somebody get to the outside is impressive across the board. I mean, we're talking about some of the ends, linebackers, even some of the linemen have real good speed and quickness up front.
Penalty marker thrown as special teams again. Are we going to see our 3rd safety? We'll take a look at the penalty. Let's see what the official says. A penalty marker thrown inside the 10, and it is another safety. That'll bring the score to 40-0, and Camden will get the ball right back. Second special teams safety for the Camden Panthers.
Yeah, it's tough if you're the punter or the ball. You see the high snap. Not much more you can do than what he did right there. Just have to do what you have to do.
Yeah, that's a good job of having enough self-awareness to go track that ball down and fall on it, because if it rolls out of the back of the end zone, it's a touchdown.
So Sterling will give the ball right back.
Guys, definitely a tough situation, but my thing here that I wish that happens is that all these kids stick it out.
Yeah.
Stick it out the rest of the year and just hang in there. I mean, I know it's tough, but they just got to keep coming out and keep playing.
Punt taken and bobbled. Camden picks it up. That's Brittingham. Brittingham cuts it back inside. He's got some more. Brittingham across the 30, across the 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown. Camden. Penalty marker thrown on the field at the 48-yard line. We'll take a look at the call on the personal foul against Camden and a personal foul against Sterling. Those should offset, and we'll see if the touchdown stands. We take one more look at it rather.
Yeah, well, Jaleen punts this ball away, and it's a pretty good punt, and it was bobbled initially by Camden, and then the Camden return man, Taquan Brittingham, just a nice job finding the open lane, and after that, with that blazing speed, that's an easy touchdown for Camden.
And that's a key where on special teams, you've just got to stay in your lanes, especially against a team that has the playmakers that Camden does.
Yeah, the initial bobble, and then picked up, and he makes a little bit of a cutback and finds a hole. And it was off to the races at that point.
The penalties were after the play was over, so the touchdown stands. And it's 46-0 Panthers with 93 seconds left to go in the half. It's a 10-point turnaround here. The safety, the touchdown, and potentially another 2 points on top of it. See what Camden elects to do here if they elect to punt as the officials get together. One more look at the run here, Kevin, and it looked like there was some confusion here initially on both sides.
Well, that's a situation where if there is a bobble, sometimes you tend to outrun the coverage, run past it, and even if you are staying in your lanes, and then of course they were able to recover and do what they did.
Yeah, it's a bit of a curveball for both sides, and Camden with more experience is able to just react to it quicker and get back on track, and ultimately I think that's why they ended up with the touchdown there.
And Kevin, what are the officials talking about here? I mean, is this go back to the penalty? Does the touchdown stand, or does Sterling punt it back again and take the touchdown from Brittingham off the board?
Yeah, I don't know. I think at this point you just should come up with a quick solution, because I don't think it's really going to. It obviously doesn't matter much either way at this point.
Yeah, it's not going to affect the grand scheme of things here.
Yeah. And again, at halftime, stay tuned. About 93 seconds game time. We'll have coverage. Bring you back to 2005, the last time these two teams met on this very field. It was a playoff matchup that came down to the very last play of the game. So kudos to Mr. K and his staff for putting together a great highlight package. You're definitely going to want to stay tuned to that, and that'll put you in the Wayback Machine there a little bit.
I believe Mr. K can correct me if I'm wrong. That was his first. Was that your first year you were here, Mr. K? First year, and first season where he really started to get the ball rolling, to get things the way they are, where the crew we have just does an incredible job. All these shots you see and the replays, guys in the truck.
And Kevin, we'll talk about the evolution of the student body and the spirit that they brought along. How about the evolution of the broadcasts that we've been doing since 17, 18 years ago, from the old truck to what we're doing now? 7, 8 camera shoots, and we're streaming live. And
each year you have some veteran guys like Jacob, Connor, Ben, if I'm missing anybody, Nikki, who kind of take the younger guys under their wing, and it's usually a little rough in the transition at the beginning of the year, but eventually the sun is wide left. So
after all of that, they're going to go for 2. Put it up into the end zone, back of the end zone, and it's incomplete. 2-point conversion, no good. 1:33 remaining. The score stands 46-0 Camden.
This is a good play call, running the fade from the 2-yard line. Just lofts it up there. And just out of the reach of his receiver, Jalen Hornsby.
See first-year head coach Ray Traley right there. Still looking to put his team's first offensive points on the board. And this has got to be tough on him, but I think he sees the big picture. I think you said it best, Kevin. Kids stick with the program, and they believe in the system, buy into the system. The results will come.
An example of something, probably the most positive thing you're going to pick out of that first half was that interception by Aiden Washington. And I think technically that I like that he did on that one, where we haven't really been doing the entire game. Even when we're staying with receivers, he picked the ball up right away, which enabled him to step up, get in position, and make the pick.
Adrian Harris on to kickoff for the Panthers. It's going to be up in the air a mile, and it's bobbled, and the ball's on the ground. I think Camden has it. If Sterling falls on that, they're lucky. Did Bessie fall on it? No signal from the official. No, Camden ball. The special teams in consecutive weeks for Sterling has been the Achilles heel. And I believe that's Tamir Bush that fell on the ball. It is. Camden gets the ball right back. Sterling back on defense. Oh, Sterling, they're going to say Sterling has it?
Not sure how that happened.
I thought Tamir Bush fell on that ball.
Yeah.
But they're going to say it's Sterling football as Hall brings the play in. Take one more look at it here. You're going to see number 7 pop in your screen. You see him right there. I guess they're going to say, like Bessie had possession there. Another whistle.
Maybe somebody fell on it because obviously.
Timeout, Sterling. Let's take one more look at that. Maybe they're saying like Bessie's knee was down. Right. It's right there. He has it, and then maybe Bush comes in at the last minute.
Well, probably they figured he was down, and they might have in the scrum pulled it away from him. Or they figured it's 46-0. We're going to give you a little bit of a break.
Either way,
I don't think anybody would have any problem with at this point.
I think it's a combination of the two, because when you look at it, he falls down. It looks like he has the ball in his hands, and the knees are down.
Yeah.
And with the score, as you take a look at the schedule here, away on the 17th at Haddon Heights, and then on the 23rd at Collingswood, but we'll be back home at the Castle against Camden Catholic on the 30th of September.
One thing to note, next week's game is a Saturday morning game. That game will take place at 11 o'clock. We'll have that for you live on YouTube. Again, kickoff slated for 11 a.m. from Garnet Country. Like Bessie can go absolutely nowhere. A loss of 3 on the play.
And guys, as you look ahead, I know Heights lost pretty big last week against, I believe, a Woodstown team. That's pretty good. They've got a pretty good program going, but Heights definitely is not going to be the team that's the caliber of this Camden team. And whereas with this game, you're not able to make any plays pretty much. With that Haddon Heights game, you're going to have the ability offensively maybe to get some first downs, maybe to pull something positive out of the game. And, again, having a positive mindset just to kind of move yourself through this season and keep everybody on the roster.
Backs in the I formation on 2nd down. Hall in trouble in the backfield, goes down at the 20. One more look at it here. The Camden defensive line is giving Sterling absolutely zero time to do anything.
Yeah, and Azir Lee did a nice job, former Sterling Knight, closing down, coming off the edge there. And Bob Hall was looking to turn up the corner for a big gain.
And for all, looks like that's going to be the final play of the half. It's all Camden. The number 5 ranking in South Jersey gives them a 46-0 lead as we head into the half. And again, at the highlights from the last time these two teams met. So, Walt Whitman's house. Right there.
Walt Whitman House in Laurel Springs.
Drops back, looks for the pitch. And he's in for the touchdown. Number 2, Charles Block. And Panthers score. Crucial down. Takes it himself. Miles running this. He's still up. And he's in. And he's in for the touchdown. Touchdown, Sterling High. That is Art Ellis' 13th rushing touchdown of the season. What a great quarterback sneak. great quarterback sneak on that one. Sterling fans are going crazy. Obviously, a pivotal part of Sterling's offense and defense. Here comes a touchdown again. Oh, actually five. Five of them there. 5 Panthers defenders. Can they take the snap? Going for the pass. Looking pass. Showing some moves. And he's finally sacked. For a loss of about 7. 7. I'd say 7 there. Excellent. There's defense. Flag on the play there. Flag on the play. Fans cheering on the red and blue. It's Mike Scott. Scott with the run. He breaks 3. He breaks 3. Finally tackled. It's also going to be about a 10-yard gain. Looking pass. Got his man beat. But he's going to choose to run. It's tackled. And it looks like a first down. It looks like a first down. Here's 2 running backs. That's dash motion. Art Ellis takes the ball. Himself. He picks up the first down and more. Oh my God. He's knocked out of bounds. Just 3 minutes exactly left on the clock. Sterling very close to goal. Maybe about 12 yards. Sorry, at least 4. Third time's a charm. And Ellis breaks it out. Breaks 2 tackles. It's down at about the 5. Art Ellis there on the screen. 2 minutes and 20 seconds left on the clock. Hands it off. Mike Scott plows through 1 defender. About the 1. Snap here. No wide receivers. Taken down for a loss. About 4. Sterling passes for a touchdown here. Hand off. No, Art keeps it, and he's going to throw it. Tip hit, and number 2. And he saves the touchdown. It would have been a touchdown to Steve Williams. That's our favorite to get 3. Good kick, and it's good. Oh, never mind. Wide by about 1 foot. No good there. Too close. Ellis takes the snap. And it's pitched. Michael Scott. Half in the pass. Hit back pass. Steve Williams. Oh, man. That would have been a great play. Great play. Just short. It's handoff to Britt McClellan. He's running. He's got 20 yards. That was a great, very impressive run. And that concludes the first half of the Camden Sterling playoff game.
Like you dominated that first half. We had the ball most of the time, and we just weren't able to score there.
Yeah, couldn't put it away here. And here's Arthur Ellis returning the ball. He's got a hole. That is out. He's got it. 40. He's gone. 30. He's gone, baby. He's gone. Touchdown, Sterling. Touchdown, Sterling High School.
Welcome back to the Art Ellis Show. Big play.
That's a big 6 points there for Sterling.
And they have their first lead of the ball game. They took 1 play in the second half to get the lead.
And they're the crazy fans I was talking to you guys about the first half.
Up. I'll show you the extra point first.
And here's
Rich. Flip it to Ike. 2 points is good.
2 points is good. And he's in there.
Great play, Ike.
That's Isaiah Ash there, number 2, senior for Sterling. Here comes the replay of the touchdown we just saw. Pretty good dick high. A little short though.
Sorry, just wait till he flies in.
Boom.
He's out. Tremendous speed. And no one's catching up.
He knows it the whole time.
Untouched the whole way. Wow.
That's why we call it the Art Ellis Show.
They need to stop here.
The pass. Looking pass.
Now. He's got a man open. First down. Finally rushed out of bounds.
Looking pass. Rolling roll out.
And we got a first down more.
Looks like we stopped there on the 3 or 4-yard line.
Nice go by 4.
Go defense.
And off the outside, Buck Scott there. And Brian Long pushing him out of bounds.
2 running backs in the backfield.
2 wide receivers. over the middle, catch me. Catch is made by Tyree Watkins, and that is a Panther touchdown. Stop here. Bunch up the middle. Carry up the middle, goes on the right side, walks into the end zone, untouched. Number 6, Benson. Thomas Benson.
Here comes the touchdown again. Perfectly thrown ball.
Just finds the single to keep them. Slide up to the outside. They're screen.
Average about 29 yards per.
Action. Ardello's back pass. Throws it. Catch is made 84.
Will Pilling, the tight end.
That is enough for a Sterling first down.
That's a big play there.
Nice throw by Art Ellis. Art going to keep himself.
Plenty of room.
Big play, Art Ellis.
Oh my
got the first down and more. He's going to the 20, 10, 5.
He's gone, baby.
And the Art Ellis show continues.
That's 3 touchdowns for Art today.
He ran over a Panther defender and took it all the way to the end zone.
He's amazing. Simply amazing.
Is that Art Ellis or Michael Vick out there? He'll work out to you, right? Art's going to keep it himself. Flips it to Ike.
Wide open.
Oh, he runs into about 4 Panthers and looks like he's going to be stopped just shy of the end zone. Two-point conversion is no good, but Sterling still has the lead 20-16. Here's Art is going to keep it himself. Looks like he has the first down, and he said, nope, I'm going to the end zone. Oh, what a stiff ball.
I don't know if you guys saw that, but he was on the 50-yard line at the beginning of the play. In the end zone at the end of the play, so.
Has the screen. Art's going to hand it off to Rich. He's going to pound it for about 7 yards. Nice to Rich McClellan.
Oh, looks like the ball came out. There might be a fumble on the play. This could really turn things around.
It's a big thing on the field. Camden saying it's a fumble. But what would you expect him to say? And indeed it is.
Quite a change of events here for Sterling.
This could be another momentum swing. I didn't see the ball pop out, did you?
No,
I didn't notice it at all.
Let's see the replay here. Pounding it. Ball isn't out.
Can't
I don't
really
see it.
tell from that.
Same formation. Ready to bet.
Oh, it's
never mind.
a big. Stewart's going to keep himself. That's holding on the outside. It looks like no call.
No way.
And he goes jumping
Out of
for the
bounds.
first down. And it looks like another generous spot. It looks like they're going to give it to him. He's out of reach because we still have Art Ellis on offense.
There's a play. Same thing.
To the left. Nice stop. Mike Sky looks like on the tackle. Just stood him up. Took him down.
That's like the 15th time around the same play.
Wide receivers and Carl's in the backfield. Stewart's back to pass. He's got time. He's looking. He's going deep to the end zone for Charles. Wide open touchdown. And the Panthers have regained the lead. There is 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter. That was a big time play. That was a different one. 2 wide receivers. Stewart's going to keep it himself. He's looking. He throws.
Oh. Oh,
It
it's
is caught. 2-point conversion is good.
That is big. Stewart takes the snap, draws back.
He's got all day to throw. And it looks like no one just saw Charles to run out to the corner. Wide open for the touchdown.
Bottom left-hand corner of the screen.
Art's going to pitch it to Ike.
Ike has plenty of room. Breaks 2 tackles.
It's like a 6-yard gain. Nice play run by Ike.
That's a great run.
But the time continues to tick. Hoovers. Going to hand off to Rich. He's got
plenty of room.
Nice play by Rich. First carry since the fumble. He gets about 8 yards in the big Sterling first down. Through for him.
Second and goal.
Art takes the hand off to Rich. He takes himself up the middle. Ball down at about the 2-yard line. Clock continues to tick. Art has the ball himself. He takes it up the middle, and he is stuffed. 40 seconds. Clock continues to tick. Time out has been taken. 7 seconds left on the clock. Fourth and goal. This is He's going to pitch it to Ike around the right corner. He's in the end zone. Touchdown! 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 Isaiah Ash with a huge touchdown on a pitch. There's a flag on the play though. Don't get too excited. Flag on the play. We'll see what this is. Ike does not seem too excited about the flag. Flag on the play. Let's see what the ref has to say.
Got a hold. On 84 of the offense. Take our penalty.
That is devastating. A holding call against Sterling pushes him back 10 yards and nullifies the touchdown. We're back. Goal. There we go. The 4th and goal on the line.
31 seconds
I
left
don't
on
know
the
how
clock.
the refs can make that call. The season on the line like that. Hart's going to pitch it to Mike. He's back to Pan. He's throwing it back to Hart. He's open. Catch is made. 1 yard from the end zone. 1 yard. That's a nice trick play run by Sterling. Mike Scott's going to throw the ball. Nice coverage by Tim Stewart, the quarterback for Camden. Makes the tackle to end the game. 1 yard shot of the end zone.
You should adjust your seat or mess with the radio before driving. Buckle your seatbelt. Also, remember to turn your lights on to avoid hitting deer or ignorant pedestrians. Ignore the phone. It can wait. Keep in mind that you're not the only one on the road. Remember, you should always be aware of animals.
I could really use a bath right now.
Braden, how many times did I tell you not to bring drinks in classroom, just water?
Stop It is an anonymous app where you can report any instance of bullying against your peers.
You can also use the Stop It app to alert staff members if someone is contemplating harm to themselves. They can take it out.
Stop It is easy to use. Once you open the app, you have to enter your school's access code.
Our code is SHS Knights.
Once you open the app, you can hit the Submit a Tip function to explain the situation and send a video or photo evidence.
You can be the answer.
You can help someone in need.
You can stop it.
Why is everyone looking at me? Is there something on my face? Please stop looking at me.
I'm gonna fail you. You're never gonna get to college.
It's over your head. It's over your head. It's over your head.
Where were you? You were supposed to meet me on my locker.
I had to get my books.
Let's go.
Where are we going?
Don't worry about it.
Dude, you trying to win some big money tonight? Yeah, they don't call me Trilly Wiggles for nothing. Man, you better not sell me. I had a bad couple of weeks, but I need this money. Let's go win. Have you ever been here before? Yeah, I have. It looks so easy. Yes, it does.
Welcome to Nightlife Casino. I'm ready. You're good for tonight. We'll be starting shortly.
Sounds good enough.
The game is right there.
I'm feeling a little frisky. I'm still 200.
Alright, it's the first game. Nah, I'm playing it safe.
Round 1 is over. Sir, we've tied. Sir, you've lost. The next round will start in 10 seconds.
What are you doing? I'm doing what's right. I'm going all in.
You're nuts? That's all your allowance. That's all your money. You're gonna go bankrupt.
Told you.
46-0. The fifth ranked Camden Panthers, number 5 in South Jersey, proving why they are a top 5 team in South Jersey. They've done it on offense, they've done it on defense, they've done it several times on special teams. They got a hat trick of safeties, and they lead this one 46-0. And Kevin, it's just been an absolutely dominating performance.
It pretty much what we expected coming into this game. And like I said earlier, moving forward, I know you've got the Haddon-Fields eventually, but at least next week you're going against a Haddon-Touch team who is probably better than you, but you'll have a chance to make some plays on offense, to maybe make some stops on defense. And this team's just in another league than us. And you just have to positively go through this game and you know, keep everybody playing, keep everybody on the team, keep everybody moving forward. That's all you can do at this point. It's not an easy situation, no question about it.
And Chick, you know, it's not often that you see one safety in the game, let alone 3. Special teams has really been a point of emphasis here for the Sterling Knights team in the last couple games.
But yeah, it's been a struggle. I mean, we've seen the bobbles, we've seen the bad snaps, and mishaps like that happen. I just feel like it's a lot of miscommunication from this young team.
So for play-by-play, we're going to send it over to Jake Clark, who's going to take over for play-by-play duties here in the second half. 4-6-0 Camden. Camden ready to kick off.
Second half getting ready to get underway. 46-0 your score. Panthers lead this one. Kicks up and away. Pretty good kick here. And it's taken in by Berry. Berry tries to put a move on a defender, but group tackling there. Nice stop by Azir Lee.
The homecoming of sorts for Osley. Got right in on that tackle. One of the first guy there and did not miss. Didn't buy the move at all. Looks like Osley got a little bit bigger too, Jules. Put on some muscle.
Yeah, well, you get to that, you know, you're a certain size when you're 16, and then I always say you get to the point where you grow into your body, you get more muscular, lose the baby fat, and it's probably the situation that we're looking at there with Lee.
Osley listed 6 foot 155.
At best, put in motion. And they hand this one up over the middle. Bill Mann with the stop. Take another look at this here.
Over this. Sterling, Jules, we talked about this at halftime off the air and how there's a fraction of a second for Sterling offensively to make a decision and do really anything.
They're right on top. I mean, there's not much we can say. We've already said their game penetration in the backfield. Every time we see the handoff, as he's getting the back's getting the ball, he's getting hit at the same time. You know,
practically taking the handoff.
Ball to Peyton, Barry Sanders. You're not going to do anything in that situation.
Hall under center. Similar formation. I guess he goes in motion once again. They flip it to him this time. Tries to turn it upfield. Maybe a yard on the play there. We'll bring up a 3rd and long. Guys, just not much doing for the Sterling run game at all tonight.
And you give it a team that's good enough the advantage of knowing there's not going to be a pass, and you know it's a run every time. So
yeah, just load the box at that point.
Load the box, and everybody's just charging forward.
Call it a 3rd and 12 here for the Knights. Hall in the shotgun. 2 receivers to his right, 1 to his left. Takes the snap. Fires a quick pass to his running back, and that is met quickly and stopped.
But at least attempt to pass. That's good.
Yep.
That's good seeing that.
You mentioned, you said this in the open, Jules, we said it several times. It's small victories, and that's, pass completion. Not a lot of running room there, but nonetheless, you show that you can get a quick pass, the 1-step drop, 2-step drop.
We've got a Knight down on the field here. Number 26.
Terrell Lewis.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, you just get out of it. You got to get to the next game. Because even, when you're getting dominated so much, and you're not able to get space to try and make things happen, it's tough to even show coachable mistakes in that situation when you're getting dominated here. And again, that's why I think you've got to look forward to next week playing a little bit of a lesser Haddon Heights team when you compare that
end zone, that's for sure. They don't have the real estate there. You can kick extra points, field goals into on the street.
Yeah, very unique brick structure.
A lot of history with that school. Yeah. And what a great environment. It's something you don't want to see here, Schulze. You get Terrell Lewis. Numbers on this team aren't as large as they were last year. Obviously, losing a lot of guys. You can't lose a guy that plays both sides of the ball like Terrell Lewis.
I know they went a little lighter on in the preseason for that reason, that you cannot, this is a team that has, that are 3 or 4 deep in its position. You probably have 35 or 40 total program. So there's a lot of things with lesser numbers that you have to watch that you wouldn't have to watch if there were more kids coming out.
Now on the punt is Nate Short. Not a great punt there, and takes a Camden bounce.
We talk about this a lot, season after season after season. Schulze, that the special teams is such an X factor with high school football. The ability to punt the ball and pin teams deep, or the ability to kick long-range extra points. West Effort has had a number of great field goal kickers over the years. Who was the young man that came out and was hitting 40, 50-yarder at halftime and just showing that range? That really is an X factor at this level.
Well, we had Clyde Folsom on one of our broadcasts at West Effort, and he said his kicker was his most important player on the team for the reason you just said. You've got field position. He had a kicker / punter.
Yep.
But how many things we've done where field position, when you have 2 equally matched teams, played a big part in the final outcome? Not to mention having a kicker where you get the ball down to the 20-yard line and have the ability to get 3. Now, Mr. K and I, you see a fumble, Sterling. Looks like Sterling's going to get it.
Ball's on the ground. Sterling's going to get it. I believe most of the Camden reserves are now.
But getting back to what we were saying, let's watch this in the replay. Just a bad pitch. And got in there, covered it up. We did a game with Paul Bow playing against Salem. And field goal kicker won the game with 2 field goals. It would have been a 13-9 game. One was, I believe, 40-plus yarder. But just what you were saying, we're watching him in practice, and he was hitting for 50-plus.
How about Point Pleasant Borough in the Group 2 championship game last year against Haddonfield? Misses the extra point that would have tied the game, and Haddonfield goes on to 21-20.
And the I formation now is Sterling. Run up the middle. And a very minimal game there. Take one more look at it.
Again, next week, like you mentioned, Schulze, we have Heights. At Heights, that's an 11 a.m. start next Saturday. We'll have it for you live on YouTube.com/SterlingTV19. We'll be there for the call.
Now, we'll be in the stand, or that was a COVID thing when we were in the stands.
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay.
Yep.
In the press box.
The comfy confines.
And this play is blown up at Betsy. Nothing doing. Brings up another 3rd and long for the Knights.
PA announced for Haddon Heights. One, Mr. Krause, whose children have all gone through Sterling High School. Does a great job on the PA. He's been there for a long time.
Yeah, Krause. Yeah, probably 30. I'm going to say 30-plus years.
One of his daughters is a ball girl for the Phillies.
Phillies, yeah. Becky Krause. We've gone to some games and talked to her there, and really enjoys it.
What a great gig that So you can.
Ratano, next sister also.
Yep.
Two Sterling representatives.
Cornering the market of ball girls.
That's right.
For the Phillies.
3rd and 14 now. Bessie with a little bit of running room, but is swallowed up. Makes it back to maybe about a yard past the original line of scrimmage. So we're giving another punt. And tackle there by Jeremiah Steele.
Key member of the tech crew doing an outstanding job.
That's pretty cool. And, you know, you got his sister's ball girl at the Phillies game. And I think God gets airtime from time to time.
That's right. That's right.
Well, you can't ask for a better seat in the house than sitting down the first and third baseline. Are you kidding me?
You got to pay attention now.
No, you
got it. Heads up. 100%.
And because we were talking to Becky Ralph, she was saying, you have people that want to talk to you. You need to talk to people. Sure. At the same time,
you don't want to make sports for the wrong reason.
Keep both eyes on the play.
Flag there on the play that was on Camden.
Tell you what, I want to give a shout out to the Camden band and the color guard. They are directly across from us. I feel like they are right in front of us. They have done a great job, really good job tonight. And it's always interesting to see the different bands that come in here, and they all do such great. They work so hard, these bands. They're here in July and August, and they're working just as hard as the football team.
I live within earshot, and Jacob, I know you don't live that far. You hear them practice in the summer.
Yeah, 100%. You can hear it from the school. I live maybe a mile away, and you can hear it when they're outside.
They go to band camps where that's like an all-day, 12-hour thing.
Those are long days, too, because they're outside. Some of them are carrying the heavy instruments. And
quarterback for Camden into the game, it is Tyrone Baker Jr., who was in the shotgun. 2nd and 5. And a flag is thrown.
A false start. Baker shuffled the feet.
And we definitely got to see the full force of the Camden offense in the first half. This is a good thing in the second half, putting the younger guys in. To me, I always say that helps the program get reps out of the field. Even though against a lesser team, you're still at the varsity level playing with a decent-sized crowd.
So run here that is stopped up by NC Armakaya.
First time we've seen Sterling show blitz and bring it and get in the backfield there. So credit to Yamarkaya and the rest of the defensive line of Sterling.
Good sized kid. And, there's some good sized kids, some of the younger kids. I really think there's something to work with, but you just can't snap your finger and get experience if you got to go through the growing pains. And this is no more of a situation than what we're looking at here.
A big sack there by Bob Hall on Baker.
Big loss on 3rd down. Sack made by number 1, James Hall.
Good job by James Hall there to get in the backfield. So back-to-back defensive stops for Sterling for negative yardage. Looks like they're going to go for it here.
22. Offense is still out on the field. Baker in the shotgun. 4 receivers, 1 running back. Drops back. Fires one down the field. And almost another interception there for the Steelers Arthur can't corral this one, though.
Good job picking up the ball.
How about this? How about Sterling's going to take over on downs here? Really, really, probably the best position they've had all season.
Yeah, it's probably better you drop that or else it would have
head was right in the ball from the release. Yeah, and I always say this. You'll see guys in the NFL who have the ability to stay with the receiver. They're quick, but they can't pick up the ball. There's a knack, and it's very tough for high school kids to get that skill down.
The end of 3 will be Camden 46, Sterling 0. We'll be back at fourth quarter action right after this quick break. Welcome back to fourth quarter action here. Sterling football, take it on Camden. Camden leads this one 46-0, guys. It's just been all Camden, no Sterling so far. Camden really having their way in this one.
Yeah, hopefully in this game you don't come away with any major injuries, and I just think you've got to put the game in the rearview mirror, move forward.
Look ahead to a more balanced team in height. Yeah. Something you know where you positively move the ball down the field and create some sort of offense. Right now, defensive line of Camden is really unbelievable.
You can't, and you really, they always say the game you lose, you gain in that, you learn from looking at films, but I think we're getting dominated so much like this. I don't even know how many coachable moments there really are. You know, the only thing I could point to is what I was saying about staying with the receiver and picking the ball up, something like that. That might be a coachable moment, but when you're getting manhandled up front, backs no room to run or read blocks.
Yeah.
There isn't much from a coaching standpoint to have to work on, whereas next week I think you will have, win or lose, you will have some things to work on and continue to get these kids to develop and get more experience.
And we got a new quarterback in the game. Nate Schwartz was under center, but that play is stopped for a little gain.
Sterling trying to mix things up a little bit, get some experience at the quarterback position. Give all freshman. I see no room there. Lost to one.
Second and 12. Around 11 minutes remain here in this fourth quarter. Camden leads this one 46-0. Schwartz is under center in the I formation. Hands this one off at Bessie. Puts it outside at Bessie. Movement run here at Bessie. Running to the second. There's a flag. But a good run there from Sam Agassi. Finally able to turn the corner. There is a flag in the play.
I think that's downfield.
Officials conversing here, waiting for a final call. And it will be a hold on the Knights. I believe it comes late in the play here.
Right there. You know, yeah, I sure has been a lot of coachable moments, but now the second team is in getting some room that's a coach moment. You have some of your pocket downfield, and you know the plays coming your way. They already have the game of about 10 yards. Let them get them. They'll make the tackle. You can't hold in that situation with plays downfield. There you have coachable moment right there.
You saw the left arm there. You see Arthur just get up in there. You'll see it as we slow it down here. See, I guess he turned the corner. He's got, he has the first down. You mentioned this earlier.
That's what he just
and there, right there.
With the tackle.
Right there. Almost had the face mask too, but.
So Sterling set a shot from their own 20-yard line. First and 12. Excuse me, first and 10. Schwartz in the I formation pitches this one to Agassi. And Agassi getting a bit of a surge here from his offensive line. A good push. Gain of around 4.
This would be great if Sterling can punch this into the end zone, win it next week with a little bit of momentum, getting the first points of the season there, and something positive.
And, you know, we'll talk about them just saying what the program is sticking it out. I'm seeing positive things right now in that I'm still seeing Sterling kids that are out there hustling, playing hard. And it's definitely a good sign.
Second down now for the Knights. Handoff up the middle like Betsy. Met for a middle gain over a third and manageable.
And guys, we've witnessed programs and turn around. Rob, you and I were here and experienced what Gateway went through, where they had 13 players on the team, or 14 players, the whole team. I mean, and I don't know if they had to go to a JV schedule on or cancel some games. They ultimately turned things around and got themselves to the point where they ended up beating Paulsboro in the playoffs.
Number 17, Anthony Kogolski, the fullback now. Third down handoff there to Bessie. He's going to be close. Stop was made by Khalil Dale. Not enough for a first down there. Bring up fourth down.
So, I mean, that's your blueprint for turning things around. And, yeah, it was terrible situation. They had just gotten a tough field, and they just didn't have the numbers, and things just went south. And, like I said, in a matter of a couple of years, got things going where they went to the next level, being competitive, and then ultimately getting the playoffs and beating a powerhouse Paulsboro for the first time in a long time for that program.
Sure, that was really tough to watch for that Gateway program for that 2-3 years, I believe. They had that beautiful turf field. Before turf field was the norm, or became part of the norm. They were one of the first ones in South Jersey, or at least in the local area, probably the first colonial team to have turf. And their kids would work so hard. And we mentioned it a lot on the broadcast. We got kids on offense, they turned the ball over on offense, and they would just turn around and play defense. They had no substitutes for, a handful at best. And then to the kids that stuck with the program and turned it into the program that wound up being Paulsboro 1 year.
And we've mentioned this before. On the other hand, Mr. K will remember this. We played against a Salem team that had 15 kids, the team. But 8 of those kids were the best players in the field when you look at both teams. And they ended up beating Gloucester 49-6. They just had great athletes play both ways. That's rare. That's the outlier. When you get to the point where you lose usually things go in the other direction.
After timeout, it's a pitch. To Andrew Vi. He's down athletic coaches and athletic trainers attending to him now. look at the Camden band. Yeah.
Okay. Here we go.
And the last thing you want to see right now, guys, is any sort of injury. Julie, you alluded to this a little bit earlier.
You can't afford it.
You can't. You just can't. Just hope he's okay. Another Sterling Sports action. We do have the boys soccer team tied Haddon Heights yesterday, while the girls soccer team won 3-0. Goals by two goals, Bridget Dixon, and one from Ireland Kay. Girls volleyball 2-0 in the season, 2 3-set wins in consecutive days. Girls tennis won their opening match of the year against Lindenwold yesterday. Rain resumed the match yesterday. Fell West effort today. They're 1-1 on the season. Cross country, big meet tomorrow.
Yep, up at by Monroe High School, running a 2-miler for the first meeting of the season.
You'll finish that about 10 minutes.
Yeah, I have to put in a lot more miles for that one.
Put it in miles. You're a half marathoner, man.
That's
you are one of the few in this school that can say that they are a half marathoner.
Got it on my belt. Some whistles here in the flag. And a full start for Camden. That'll back him up. Pretty positive drive for Sterling outside the one penalty. That was a great run from McBethy.
What I really like to see is Sterling pick up that first down and see how they operate in the red zone. Again, looking for some momentum heading into next week.
We talked about it. Schultz wasn't here for that game, but every time Sterling had something going against Seneca, there was either a hole or a silly mistake that just in the offense back 10 yards. Here is Baker. Baker running around trying to find some movement. A nice tackle, but a flag is out. Baker just had nowhere to go.
Baker running for his life. With the block in the back, so that's going to back up Camden even more.
Yeah, but Baker rolls out to the left here. Nico Jolene just the tackle. Nice job. Bob Hall in there again. But his name a few times tonight in the defensive end.
And Hall's a kid who played for the mid-program, so he definitely is a kid who has experiences. So some of these guys just learning to play football at the high school level.
Could we have the fourth safety of the night here?
It is first down run there.
That would be a record.
I tried to speak it into existence. Sorry.
That would be a record.
Man had other plans as I pick up here.
I think Mr. K might turn that, the 3 safeties in one half into a trivia question about 15 years from now.
So you got to put that in your life.
Clock still running here. Less than 6 minutes to go in this fourth quarter. Second down now. Baker in the shotgun. Takes the snap. Hands this one off. And they'll bring up a third and long for Camden. Third and long here for Camden. One of the few times we said that tonight. Third and 17, as it says on the scoreboard.
They can hold here, and then you wonder, you know, look what Camden's punty look like.
Baker takes the snap, low snap, rolls out to the right side, fires, and it is knocked away. Almost intercepted by Nate Short, who then
second earlier, he probably would have walked in for 6.
And a good job not only picking up the ball, but having the receiver covered. Got in a good position.
Oh. That's the one to look at on film.
Offense staying out there for Camden on a 4th and 17. Trips right for Baker in the shotgun. Takes the snap. Drops back, looking, fires downfield, and it is incomplete. And Sterling will have great field position here at the end of this game.
You see Baker back here. Some decent pressure from Sterling Lewis to get rid of the ball. In an area where he probably should have thrown. Sterling had good coverage. 2 defenders right there. With good flip is an opportunity for Sterling to knock one in here.
The ball placed at right at the 10-yard line. So running clock under 3 minutes to play. Just for Sterling to get some points, first points of the year.
Schwartz under center in the I formation, take the snap, hand off, and I guess he goes backwards. Loss on the play. Less than 2:30 to go here. Run clock.
That's a great job by Antoine Stanley, the senior defensive lineman, get in there. 6'4", 330 pounds, get in there. And that's just swallowed up at best there.
And moves on the play. West Deptford next week.
That'd be a good one.
Yeah, you know, West Deptford's down a little bit, but it remains to be seen by how much. I never kept them in.
Just as much as Sterling wants to put their first points on the board, Kim wants to keep their shutout alive.
Right.
Takes the snap. I guess back to him again. The ball comes out.
We don't have we don't have 33 in our program. I tell you what. That was a hit stick right there.
Yeah. That was more than it was definitely the ball definitely was by contact with the knee.
That's not going to be bruised from that one.
Ball definitely out.
He's definitely out.
So a minute remains here. 3rd and goal from 10. Starting in the eye. Schwartz takes the snap. He drops the pass and fires us on the Arthur. And caught for a touchdown. You see Arthur puts up 6 on the board.
The freshman throwing a touchdown pass. Well, kudos to Sterling. Now there was a positive way to end the game. That's a nice throw.
And a nice job by Arthur to maintain, keep the ball there.
Yeah, good job fighting for the ball, man. He was in a battle right there and came down with it.
He's fighting with Jawan Brownlee, the cornerback, the freshman as well. So freshman on freshman advantage Sterling there. And just ripped it away from Brownlee.
Drops back. Nice arc on that ball. And a nice job by Arthur winning the one-on-one battle with the Camden DB right there.
That's great concentration as well.
They're going to go for 2 here. Schwartz pitches this one to Vi. And there's a flag on the play, but he is right now in for the 2-point conversion. Officials conversing here with 43.6 seconds left to go. Sterling just put up a touchdown. Illegal block in the back there against the Knights. Take one more look at this. Yep. That one was pretty obvious.
Yeah.
Yeah. Keep walking. Yeah. You see 33 right there. And that was where you saw the block on the inside.
Sterling's still going to go for two here. Now in the I formation. Camden loading the box, and Schwartz drops back to throw. Steps up, and nothing doing there.
Extra point is no good.
Michael Berry. Take another look at this touchdown right here. Schwartz drops back.
It's a great little three-step drop there, and just floats it up. But how about the concentration there?
Yeah, I like the battling for the ball at the end. You had a receiver right on you. He's one kid who had a nice game on the defensive end with the interception. In general, showing good coverage, and then Holm went in here for the first and only score of the game in the season.
It's head coach Ray Traylor, his first year at, it's Officer Smith, excuse me. He liked it. I'm sure head coach Ray Traylor likes it too.
Make some noise for the best cheerleading squad in all of New Jersey.
So less than a minute to go here. 43 seconds on the clock. Take another look at the touchdown pass from Schwartz.
DB just a little late getting there. You can see the coaches. They wanted that one, they got it.
Here is Jaleen to kick this one away. Making sure everybody's ready in position. Officials are ready. And Jaleen boots this one away. And it is bobbled, but recovered by Camden and blown dead. Clock is running. And that should about do it for this one. Camden wins big here, 46-6 over the Knights. We'll put the Knights at 0-2 on the season.
But again, a good test for them, a more balanced test for them coming up next week.
Sure.
Against Heights. Obviously outmatched here against the 5th-ranked Camden Panthers, Schulze, but you get that touchdown at the end, and you never know.
And the younger guys felt good about themselves, so again, just put this in the rearview mirror, move forward, and play for next week.
That'll be it for us today on Channel 19. Thank you to Mr. K and the rest of our tech crew. I'm Jake Clark, joined by Rob Strauss and Kevin Schulz. Have a great day, and as always, go Knights.